This one goes out to all the little bros out there. Y'all be safe, man. Might not be my blood, but you my little bro. Care about you, so I really gotta let you know. The streets foul, man, gotta reap what you sow. It's grown men out here grown, I never grow. Lil' bro, might not be my blood, but you my little bro. Care about you, so I really gotta let you know. The streets foul, man, gotta reap what you sow. It's grown men out here grown, that never grow. Lil' bro, turn on the news, another kid got shot. Hey, you.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? This is your host, Ramel, and now introducing my new podcast, How to Beat the Streets. So this right here is the pilot episode. We just putting on the gloves. We starting this journey right now here today. And I just want to let everybody know, you don't have to be perfect. All you got to do is get started and just keep progressing. And that's what I'm all about. And in the pilot episode, we just going to break down a little bit of who I am. We're going to break down the name, How to Beat the Streets, and just give you an overall little short bio of what the show is going to be about. All right? So I can start with me, your host, Ramel. Some people might know me as ShowTime. That's my hip-hop name. I've been an independent hip-hop artist for like 6 years, nonstop, just putting out singles, projects. Time to Show. That's my my most famous piece of work. I got Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, all out there on streaming platforms. More recently, I changed my name to ShowTime Rod, just putting it together. And to family and friends, y'all all know me as Ramel. Everybody call me Rod. So when I'm doing my thing now for forever, I'm going with ShowTime Rod. And I got the name ShowTime. That was actually my father's name. My father was a hip hop dancer. And he got shot and killed when I was 8 years old. And he was on his path. He was on his journey. He was doing some great things. And I felt like, when it was time for me to, put the cameras on and start getting into music, getting into just getting into that field of creativity, I wanted to pick up where he left off. So that's how I got the name ShowTime. And How to Beat the Streets. So that actually leads to my whole journey of how to beat the streets. My pops got killed when I was 8. I was in 3rd grade at the time, and it just significantly impacted my life. Everything changed from that moment. I started thinking about guns. I started getting infatuated with the streets and everything that came with that. Just because I often just replayed that situation in my head when my pops died, and it just took me to a different level mentally. And I was only 8 years old, so anything I seen that show guns or it was just violent fights, gangs, all that, it just intrigued me because I was always just trying to figure out, what happened to my pops and what kind of man he was. And outside of what I knew in the household, as a son, I would just wanted to figure out his story. So as I got older, I started to piece the puzzle together a little bit. And life got a little rough for me, man. Third grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, it was just challenging. I remember getting expelled from elementary school. I remember getting expelled from middle school. I remember getting expelled from high school. So, yeah, I dealt with behavior issues. I dealt with not being able to control my emotions, thinking that the world owed me something because, my father was taken off this earth. And my mother, she's from Harlem. My father's from East New York, Brooklyn. They both was actually hip-hop dancers. They met during the show at the Apollo. And voila, here you have it, me. And St. Nick is where I grew up in Harlem. So that's the west side of Harlem, a little upper west side. My mom grew up from there. Most of my family is from there. And according to Urban TV on YouTube, that's the #1 most dangerous housing project. So you could imagine the things I've seen. I've been into fights. I've been jumped. I've been cut. I've been arrested. So I definitely had my fair share of the streets. I had to deal with what a lot of young men is going through now, gang violence, just being a product of your environment, just a certain way that you got to move when you're growing up in these urban areas. And I've been through it all. Now, the flip side of it is I think maybe high school. High school, I was trying to get my act together when I got to my second high school. And it was just a lot going on in the community. A lot of my friends was going upstate doing and not college, going upstate doing federal time. Some of them going up just serving regular jail time, and then we had friends that was getting shot. A lot of people getting robbed, which made more people want to have guns on them. My brother was incarcerated, so I used to go visit him on Rikers Island. Some of my friends was incarcerated, so I used to visit them on Rikers Island. And it was just a lot going on in my head. I'm like, man, it was getting ugly in the streets. So I decided to go to college. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to college. And I went to Buffalo State. Shout out to Buffalo State. My first year, same thing. I was just all into the wrong things, not wanting to follow the rules, still getting into fights, coming back home just to be outside in the project still. And then one day, it was actually the summertime. I was about to go back to school again, and normally we play basketball in the neighborhood. Somebody sent out the text message or whoever you be talking to on a daily basis. They tell you what's going on, and one of my friends that hit me up was like, "Yo, we going to play basketball, and outside in the big park on the other side." So I'm like, "All right, cool," but I actually got summer jam tickets like the night before. So even though I said yes to play basketball, of course I went with summer jam. So next day come, I go to summer jam, and this dude right here, rest in peace, Cass. Cass was like one of the positive dudes in the hood. Like he did a lot of leadership work. He worked. I think it was like a junior ROTC type program in Harlem. Excuse me if I'm saying the name, but it was like a program where he was helping out young men. They wore like the military type uniforms and all that. And he was just always into like helping out anybody that he saw that could receive the knowledge. And I was one of those people. He started his own little team called Team Gnarly, and then one day he pulled me aside and he was like, yo, you Team Gnarly, man. Like, I like your style. Like, even though, like I said, I was going through my hard times. When I was in high school, the first school that I got kicked out of was Rice High School. Shout out to Rice High School. That was a monumental Catholic school in Harlem. It definitely changed my life, but of course, I just had too much going on to like, you know, just stay focused and actually, get what they was trying to give to me at the time. So he seen all that. He seen me, having like girls with me and driving cars and being in Catholic school, and even like how I moved, I still was like a conscious young man. It's just I was like playing tug of war, like wanting to be in the streets and then also wanting to do positive things because of all the examples I seen. So one day he just told me like, "Yo, you Team Gnarly, man. Like I like how you move." And then from there he just always was giving me jewels, like just yo, go upstairs. Like ain't nothing out here for you. Like stay in school. School will take you further than anything that you seeing out here. Talking to me about fast money, all like just little things. I used to be looking at him like, damn, like what made him one want to give me that type of knowledge, that type of mentorship, but also like how are you like this? You know what I mean? Because he's from the same neighborhood I'm from, but it was just something special about him. Again, rest in peace to Cass Soul. So that day, I went to Summer Jam and my phone was ringing like crazy. Everybody from the hood texted me, calling me, and I found out that some dudes got up on the scaffold like high up, and they had some guns on them, and they shot up the basketball park. It's even hard for me to say it right now because I'm thinking about it in my head. Like, wow, that's just crazy, So they just shooting wild. All my friends out there playing basketball. Uh, a few of my friends got grazed, and Cass died, man. Cass got murdered that day, and I feel like the whole reason of me saying that story because that was like a turning point for me where I was like, you know what, I gotta beat the streets. I gotta like do something bigger, do something better, and be an example for everybody. That we could do this. So from that moment, I just stopped coming home from college. Like I got a job out there in Buffalo, and I just started doing my thing, man. I brought my GPA up to like a 3.6, and I kept it up the whole entire time I was there. I got a few jobs while I was out there. I ended up pledging Omega Psi Phi, the greatest fraternity known to man. Shout out to all the bros. So I just started going hard, man, trying to change my life around. And that's what kind of made me make my decision on getting my bachelor's in criminal justice. I just wanted to learn more about the law. I wanted to, just educate myself on just the whole criminal justice system. And I figured like, maybe I'll be like a criminal lawyer or an attorney or something like that. I just wanted to use that to help me beat the streets. Like I didn't want to be, somebody that got pulled over and you didn't know how to, properly protect yourself and know your rights and all those kind of things. So that's what I kind of got into. And then towards the end, when I was about to graduate, I applied for this program called Teach for America. One of my guidance counselors had told me like it was a lack of black men in education, and she was just saying like something about my character. She was just like, I think you'll be a wonderful teacher, and I think a lot of kids will be able to like learn from you. And she also said like I feel like teaching to help you, just spread your wings a little more versus like going into the law enforcement field. At the time, that's what I was telling her I was gonna do. I didn't really tell her my whole plans as far as being going to law school and things like that. So I went to the interview, Teach for America, and honestly, I killed it. And everybody in the interview just like, you're a natural. So I'm like, you know what? I think that I could probably help a little bit more on this side. So I said, I'm gonna make a deal with myself. I'm gonna take this role as being a teacher, but I'm also going to start to take my music career serious. I always wanted to do music, but it was just I didn't have my niche. I didn't have my character. I didn't know how I wanted to do it. But as soon as I decided to teach, I was like, you know what? This is it. I'm going to be like the only positive rapper, and not like positive like A, B, C, D, like none of that. Just like, just bringing that classic feel, like kind of like a Jadakiss type of artist, 50 Cent. Like we not going to I don't know, we're not going to deviate from like the original hip hop form, but I'm gonna do it in my way. I'm gonna do it where I can like still give lessons to the people. You know what I mean? So that was my journey, and I started from there. And honestly, it's just been up ever since. I've been doing a lot of great things in the community. I've been mentoring a lot of young men. I got a lot of music out there that's been helping people. And now here you got it, How to Beat the Streets podcast. And I think this podcast is going to take off. It's so many people that beat the streets, and I want them to come here and tell their story. And how it's gonna go is basically every guest that comes up here, they're gonna just give us the 3 key takeaways of their story and how they beat the streets. And also we going to do a lot of different things here, man. We're gonna educate young men. We're gonna educate young women. We're gonna educate older people. Matter of fact, all people, because you never know what stage someone is currently in their life, and we just don't know who this message can go to. So we're not even going to cap it off to just the youth. That's where I specialize at, in the youth. But I feel like this podcast is going to reach so many ears. And like I said, it's just a pilot episode. I'm just giving y'all a brief history about myself. But as we continue to progress, you'll learn more about me. You'll learn more about my story. And I'm just happy that we got here to this point. This is How to Beat the Streets podcast, and I think that this podcast is definitely going to shake up New York City. So we're going to clap it up for that. Something else that I'm going to do at the end of each show is something what I call Put You On. And I'm just going to have myself or my guest that comes up here put you on to like new music or new podcasts, new books. But a book, a podcast, a song that helped them I guess get something out of it. Like whether it helped them beat the streets or if it helped them change their mental, change their mindset. So we're gonna do it like that. And like I said, we're gonna keep it going. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm so excited to start this podcast. How to Beat the Streets, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.